Friday betting preview edition of Pucks Across Borders on Total Apex Sports, brought to you by the one, the only First Round Collectibles. Right now with our promo code Sports Addict, get 10% off whatever sports card you want in the entire First Round Collectibles store. They have an ongoing sale up to 50% off tons and tons of cards. And with our promo code Sports Addict, not only do you get 10% off of regular price items, but sales items as well. Do the math. 20 becomes 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60. You get the idea. Go to firstroundcollectibles.com today. Use promo code Sports Addict for 10% off your order. Sale priced and regular priced items. That's the number one, STRoundcollectibles.com. First Round Collectibles, sports cards for sports fans.
Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And welcome to this Friday edition of Pucks Across Borders on Total Apex Sports and Sports Addict Live, brought to you by the one, the only First Round Collectibles. As always, I am Mark Sauter with my brother Andre. We got lots to get into tonight. Lots of games from last night, 12 games in the NHL last night, 4 to get into from tonight. Lots and lots of storylines coming out of yesterday, and we will talk about what we took away from the action last night. But first, as always, Andre, how we feeling on a Friday, man? Good to see you.
As always, man, good to see you. Feeling pretty good. It's Friday. I mean, does
Yes,
anything
sir.
else need to really be said? It is Friday. Busy day in hockey yesterday, not as busy today, but plenty to talk about. League's heating up, that's for sure.
100%. And let's quickly go over what happened last night. The Calgary Flames lose to the Boston Bruins 4-3. Quick note on this game, because it's not my takeaway, but I just want to say this. No disrespect to anybody in Boston. This is not meant to be a shot at anybody, but the Boston media throughout the game yesterday was talking about this as like an improvement. They were encouraged by how the Bruins played. That game was 1-0 Bruins within like 30 seconds. And did you notice this, Andre? I felt like in the first minute of every single 7 o'clock game, there was a goal or two. Like every one. Like Boston scored. I mean, okay, it was 2 minutes into the Boston, but they scored. The Panthers scored 3.5 minutes in. The Devils scored with 1.5 minutes in. The Sabres scored with 30 seconds in. The Carolina Hurricanes scored with 52 seconds in. Utah scored with 20 seconds in. Gabe Velarde for the Jets scored with 1 minute in. 1.5 minutes in, the Canucks scored. 2.5 minutes in, the Wild scored. Almost every single game before there were 3 minutes left or 3 minutes into the game, everybody scored, which was interesting. But the game was 1-1 after the first period. The first 6 or 7 minutes of that second period, Calgary absolutely dominated. I thought it was a really sloppy game from both teams, but Calgary dominated the first 6-7 minutes of that second period. And then Boston got 2 quick goals and ran away with the rest of the period. That third period, you're up 3-1 going into the third period. The game is 3-2 a minute in. And by the 10-minute mark, the game was tied 3-3. And I thought overall, Calgary deserved to win that hockey game. So that was really interesting, given what we've seen from the Bruins over the last few weeks. The New York Islanders beat the Ottawa Senators 4-2. The Florida Panthers keep on doing what the Florida Panthers do. They win 6-2, and the Nashville Predators keep doing what they do. Only 18 shots on net. I know it's a back-to-back, but if you're gonna lose 3-2 and give everyone some hope, or 5-4 even. But you get 18 shots on net and you lose again. They lose 6-2. The New Jersey Devils beat the Canadiens 5-3. The Buffalo Sabres beat the New York 6-1 last night. I'm sorry, the New York Rangers. I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but 6-1. The Pittsburgh Penguins get stomped by the Carolina Hurricanes 5-1. The Philadelphia Flyers beat the Lightning 2-1. The Utah Hockey Club beat the depleted St. Louis Blues 4-2. The Stars beat the Blackhawks 3-1. The Avalanche lose again, this time to the Jets 1-0. Connor Hellebuck's second straight shutout. This guy is having an unbelievable year. The Vancouver Canucks beat the Kings 4-2, and the Minnesota Wild beat the San Jose Sharks 5-2. Andre, out of all of that, what was your takeaway from Thursday night in the NHL?
Yeah, we very quickly wrote off the Flyers when we were talking about yesterday's game. They delivered. They went into Tampa, outshot the Lightning 31-23. I mean, I know they had to tie it late, but for the good chunks of that game, they looked like the better team. Out-hit them, better on special teams. I guess both power plays were the same, but they were winning face-offs. They looked good. They got it to the shootout, though. Took quick work of that. And I mean, I needed that. This is a team we definitely had higher hopes for, and they got off to a brutal start. They're allowing the most goals per game in the NHL. I mean, so to do that against the Lightning, hold them to 1 goal. I know they only scored 2. Wasn't the most encouraging win. I guess they only scored 1. The shootout goal doesn't count, but they needed 2 points. They need to show something, especially defensively. They needed a spark. They got it. They delivered. Kudos to them. Big win. Let's see if they can build some momentum, get it going. Because this is a team, and I know you in particular, you loved them last year. You think they're supposed to be good. So
yeah,
let's see if they're good.
Well, and they, really what impressed me from that game last night was they held the Lightning to 23 shots. We know the Lightning are having an inconsistent start to the year, like a lot of good teams are at the beginning of this season. But they held them to 23 shots, and all their goaltenders are hurt right now. They got the big guy in the net last night. He had a phenomenal game. And they win the game 2-1. That was what was impressive for me, because the goaltending's been a huge question mark, even with their goaltenders healthy. And I thought defensively they really locked it down. So that was a good win from them last night. I'm right there with you. I already kind of pointed out with the Boston Bruins, I thought really sloppy game. No disrespect to the Calgary Flames. I've been higher on the Flames than almost anybody else, so it's no disrespect to the Flames. But you're the Boston Bruins. You've had the start that you've had. You go up 3-1. Don't really deserve to be up 3-1, but you are, and you choke away a third period lead and almost lose the game. I thought that was really interesting. I gotta say, also on the one hand too, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but it's a very tired topic in the NHL world right now. But, oh my goodness, my wonderful son is hitting spoons together. All right. Boston is what it is. We're live. Here we go. It's, he's keeping time for me. It's a very tired topic of conversation on both sides of this, but the Winnipeg Jets keep winning and the Nashville Predators keep losing, and I think it deserves at least a mention. The Winnipeg Jets right now, they got 26 points, man. They're 13-1, 26 points. The Minnesota Wild 9-2. Sorry, 9-2-2. They win again last night. They have 20 points. Dallas Stars 8-4. They have 16 points. if you're Nashville, even Colorado, like the division is all but gone, right? Like obviously Nashville, even to get to the playoffs is going to be a large uphill climb right now. But Colorado is only 3 points above them, man. Like they have 12 points. That division is pretty much lost. And I know for Dallas, you're 10 points back. It's early. It's not insurmountable by any means. But 10 points is a lot in the NHL, man. That basically means that the Jets have to go on a 3 to 5 game losing streak while Dallas keeps winning in order for the Stars to get the division back. So that's a huge win by them last night. And with Nashville, again, I know it's a back-to-back. You had a hard night the night before in Washington, but that's just another tough loss. All that being said, my takeaway, like we hate on the teams that deserve to be hated on at the time. But if we're going to hate on them, when they play well, we got to give them some love. And for me, that's the Buffalo Sabres. I said before the game against Ottawa a few nights ago that if they lose that game, or I guess I should correct myself, I said the next day that I was going to say this because we weren't live on the day that they played Ottawa. But if they lost that game against Ottawa, I really felt like, okay, this season's done. And I know that it wouldn't statistically or I guess mathematically been done, but I just figure like, okay, you're, facing Ottawa. Ottawa's a good team, but you've been having a rough stretch. If you don't win this game, to me, you're fraudulent and I'm not believing in you for the rest of the year. That's just how I felt about it. Not only do they beat Ottawa pretty badly, and then they go into Madison Square Garden on a Thursday night, which Thursday nights are hopping. It's not quite Friday, but Thursdays are, hopping anywhere, big city. And they put the thump, that was never a game. And they chased Igor. And, they're hanging in there. They're 13 points. Tampa Bay is third in the division with 15 points. Toronto is second in the division with 16 points. And Buffalo is right there with 13 points. And consequently, Ottawa, they lose the game against Buffalo. They lose against the Islanders last night. And now they're right there, 12 points. But, these were two games that I really felt like Ottawa needed to win. And they dropped them both. And tomorrow night, they play Toronto on Tuesday. Who does Ottawa play tomorrow night? I had it. Yeah, they play Boston tomorrow night. So I'm really curious with this Ottawa team. But hey, shout out to Buffalo. They got the job done, and I'm happy for them.
Yeah, they pounced early. They scored, 25 seconds in? I don't know if that was part of your mention for the 7 o'clock games. They scored 25 seconds in, lived in the zone for the first 5 minutes, and then first period, they kept the Rangers off the board when they started to build momentum and then just held on. So really good performance by them. And that's 2 in a row. We didn't think they would do it, especially not offensively. But here they are, winning games. Kudos.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And, I mean, I hate to say this, but I feel like they're going to do what they always do, right? They lose some bad games, win some blowouts, pull us right in. Like tomorrow night, once again, tomorrow in the afternoon, they play Calgary tomorrow afternoon at home. So, we'll see what happens. Calgary is no slouch these days. All right, that's it for Thursday night. Anything else that I forgot? I think we're good on that, right? I mean, Macklin Celebrini, 2 goals last night. Yes, they lose 5-2 to Minnesota, but Celebrini's back, and he gets 2 goals. There are only 2 goals. Overall, it wasn't an impressive game, but good for him, making up for lost time. All right, here we go. 4 games in the NHL tonight, starting with the Hockey Hall of Fame game, the annual Hockey Hall of Fame game in Toronto. if you still don't believe that Toronto is the center of the hockey universe, I'm sorry to tell you. This is just, what am I supposed to say? The Hockey Hall of Fame's in Toronto, and when they induct, it's all in Toronto. It's Toronto. I don't know what else to tell you. I hope Brady's watching this. I would love to know what he thinks about those comments, because it's not an opinion. It's just a fact, and that is what it is. The Toronto Maple Leafs minus 184 at home against the Detroit Red Wings plus 152. My apologies. Let me pull this back up here. I went into that with such confidence and fell flat on my face. Minus 1.5 are the Maple Leafs at plus 134. And plus 1.5 for the Detroit Red Wings minus 164. Over 6.5 plus 116. Under is minus 142. Andre, what do you got, man? Detroit, Toronto. Shout out to Pavel Datsyuk, Shea Weber, Jeremy Roenick, which, by the way, Jeremy Roenick took way too long to get into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Like, way too long. As a Rangers fan, I can't do the quick math on why this would matter to you, but I feel like you don't like Jeremy Roenick. I don't know why. Why do I think that?
Why would you think that? I don't
He never
know.
played for any of your rivals, I don't think. At least not in the prominence of his career.
Yeah, he played in Philly for a few years.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
Like
that was a big one. That was a big one. Yeah.
Thousands. I think the real problem with him, besides the fact that he's from Boston, so he's just a naturally unlikely person. I think the real problem, I just got tired of hearing his voice in these big moments when the Rangers were failing. So that's my problem with him. No, he's fine. Jeremy Roenick's fine. Congratulations on the haul. Congratulations to all of them, really. I loved watching Datsyuk play. So,
man.
In particular, I'm gonna shout him out because his hands were special, man.
Dude,
his hands were special.
Yeah, we could do a whole segment on this, man. Like Pavel Datsyuk, it's funny because leading up to this week, all these like different, interviews are coming out with either writers who covered him or management who covered him or players who played with him or against him. Morgan Riley, defenseman for the Leafs, had this great quote this morning, basically saying that he played against Datsyuk in his rookie year, and he just remembers his coach, Randy Carlyle, just like aggressively pulling him off the ice. Anytime Pavel stepped on, he's like, Riley, hey, rookie, get off the ice. But everybody's just saying that in a city that before Datsyuk, you didn't have any slouches, man. Like you had like Yzerman, Fedorov, Shanahan, all these terrific players. Chelios, which was around the same time as Datsyuk as well, because Chelios played until he was like 80. But like all these terrific players, and so many people say there was nobody that they saw like Pavel Datsyuk. Just the way that he skated, the way he shot the puck, the plays that he made. So absolute shout out to him. And I love me some JR, bro. Like I think it's a little different nowadays, but back then in the NHL, if you remember, like it was a very like respectful league. Like no one really talked badly about anybody. Obviously on the ice there was like chirping and all that stuff, but off the ice there was no like provocative interviews. Everything was all respectful and blah blah blah, and that guy just said whatever he wanted all the time, and it was super refreshing. I loved it. And for me, him and Shane Doan, bro, he made me forget he made those Coyotes jerseys like pop.
Oh yeah,
like that was his era, right?
Yeah.
And then Shea Weber, man, hardest shot in the league for a long time. Terrific player, so that is awesome to see. So moving back to the game, what do you got? Detroit, Toronto on Friday night, Hockey Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, should be an interesting game. The Red Wings, obviously, they're 6-5-1, not in the gutter per se, but they need some points. They shook off their 3-game losing streak, beat the two teams they were supposed to beat. Now, can you beat a team that's like, above your weight class a little bit? And with the way the Leafs have been playing lately, it's possible. It's doable. I mean, I know they beat the Bruins 4-0 on Tuesday, but they had lost 5-7 before that. This isn't a team that's clicking right now. This isn't a team that's dominating the way they were early in the season, or dominating the way we expect them to as the season progresses. So going into this game, you would think that the Red Wings have an opportunity in front of them. Coming out of it, I don't see them competing. This game is in Toronto. The Leafs are 5-2-0 at home. They've been a lot better at home, +9 goal differential. And I mean, this Detroit team, they're just inconsistent. They're not stacking wins. Yeah, you can't trust them to win 3 in a row. They're not really showing the ability to do that. So I'm taking the Leafs here, -1.5. They're flat out better team. They're at home, where they've just looked dominant so far this season. I really trust them in this spot. And the thing I trust about them the most is their defense. I trust them to keep the Red Wings in check. I think that's going to be the main reason they win, probably like 4-1. I think that's going to be the main reason I'm taking the under with that puck line.
Wow. Yeah, not something not just you, but the general you, not something you'd say for the last few years. You trust the Maple Leafs defense. It's a beautiful thing. Adding Chris Tanev, adding OEL, putting everybody in their proper place, taking pressure off of Morgan Riley on that top line, just letting him do what he does offensively. It's been a beautiful thing, and I'm right there with you. I'm taking Toronto Maple Leafs -1.5 as well, +134. I'm taking it as well. The one stipulation, and we talked about this pre-show, is like Cam Talbot's played really, really well this year. Like, he's had a really strong year. I remember at the beginning of the year, we were talking about the goaltending and how we're just like, at least I was talking about how I do not trust this goaltending at all. Cam Talbot had a really good first half of the year last year in LA. Eventually that tapered off. Maybe that happens again this year, but you know what? Right now he's 4-1-1, 2.45 GAA, .925 save percentage. The guy's playing very well. And the Detroit Red Wings, as of right now, not scoring at the rate that we saw last year, which is another reason why I'm taking the Leafs -1.5. Stolarz is in the net tonight, and he's just been out of his mind good. I think more people across the league would be talking about him if it wasn't for what Connor Hellebuck's doing. Stolarz is having a phenomenal season so far, so that's another reason why I'm taking Leafs -1.5. But their goals against right now is 8th in the league. And if you remember last year, Andre, what would you put the over-under on how many times we picked Detroit games to go over? Like 75? Like, yeah, 75.5 is the over, I think. Like, we picked those games. Yeah, 80. Yeah, probably. 82. Let's just go all the way. Those games went over every night because they couldn't stop a puck, and they scored a bunch. And it's the exact opposite. They're stopping a bunch of pucks, and they're not scoring. I think they're 29th in the NHL in goals for, if my memory serves me correctly. Just wrote an article about this. Go check it out on TotalApexSports.com. A little shameless plug. I always say that shameless. I have a lot of shame. I'm not worried about it. So anyway, that's why I am taking. Also, a little props. Austin Matthews out for at least this game and tomorrow night as well. He is on the IR with an undisclosed injury because the Toronto Maple Leafs just never tell us what is happening, and it's so frustrating. But it is retroactive to their game on Tuesday, which he missed out as well. Isn't it weird that they can do that? Like, he missed Tuesday's game. They put him on the IR today, and they just say, oh, yeah, we put him on the IR today, but he was hurt on Tuesday, so it's Tuesday. So it's retroactive to November the 3rd, and he's eligible to be back on Tuesday. Like, I don't really know why that's allowed, but it is, and it is what it is. But Austin Matthews is out, man, so I'm looking at William Nylander to step up. He's +135. John Tavares has had an excellent start to the season. He's +160. Matthew Nyes, I've been pumping this guy's tires both on the show and for Total Apex Sports. I am a huge fan of this kid. He's on that top line already without Austin Matthews. He will no doubt at least stay on that top line. He's plus 230. If memory serves correct, he's either second on the team in goals behind Willie or tied for second or maybe third. He's right around there. He has 6 or 7 on the year. He's been playing really, really well. So Matthew Nyes to get a goal. I am all about it. On the Detroit side, I'm always here for some Dylan Larkin, plus 195. And I called DeBrincat out the other night, and he got the first goal of the game. So he is plus 240 to score tonight. I don't love Detroit props because I do think it's going to be tough to get pucks past Anthony Stolarz. But those two guys I am a big fan of. All right, moving on to the Pittsburgh Penguins in Washington. All these odds, by the way, are almost the exact same. Like, this is just a bunch of favorites versus a bunch of dogs all night long. The Pittsburgh Penguins against the Washington Capitals. Penguins are plus 142 on the road. Washington minus 172 at home. Minus 1.5 for the Capitals is plus 136. Plus 1.5 for Pittsburgh, minus 168. The over is 6.5 at minus 128. And the under is plus 104. And really quickly, before I give you the floor, the Washington Capitals, this goes both ways. The Washington Capitals keep playing teams who desperately need a win. And teams who desperately need a win keep playing Washington. Like, Nashville comes in, their season's on the line. They got to play Washington. And then you have the Penguins, who their season was on the line before the season even started. And they have to play Washington, and they just got punked last night 5-1 by the Hurricanes. So tough spot for Pittsburgh. What do you got tonight, bro? Pittsburgh, Washington.
Yeah, honestly, I'm tired of talking about the Penguins. I really am. So I'm going to try to keep this as quick as possible. People are going to try to say, hey, Andre, this is a rivalry, show some respect. Maybe the Penguins will have a chance. No, they won't. There's nothing to suggest they'll have a chance in this game. Washington has been a good team. Washington is 7-1-0 at home. They've been doing it against good teams. The Penguins can't stop anybody from scoring. The 30th in goals against average. They keep losing by multiple goals. They lost to the freaking Islanders. Washington Capitals minus 1.5.
Yeah, all day. And you know what's super underrated about this team? And I think both you and I said this going into the year. Like, one of the reasons why I really like this team at the start of the year, and I didn't think that they were going to be this good, but I thought that they'd get back to the playoffs, wild card spot maybe. And the reason why is this goaltending duo, man. Like, this is a terrific duo. Like, Logan Thompson, one of the better backups in the league last year. Aiden Hill was hurt for long portions, and Logan Thompson held it down for Vegas. And then you have Charlie Lindgren, who, as you love to bring up, MVP vote last year. Terrific year last year. And so it's okay, man. Like, you have Logan Thompson the other night, Friday night, not a back-to-back, but, 2 games, 3 nights. Throw Charlie Lindgren in there, it's no problem. And so I think, and dude, like, I know that they're doing what they can do. Like, the goaltending situation for Pittsburgh. Like, I don't know if you watched any of that game last night or saw the highlights, but some of those goals, like, I know Carolina is a juggernaut right now, and they're beating every team 5-1 right now. It's not just Pittsburgh. They're demolishing everybody. And if they're not, like, winning 5-1, they're winning 6-4. So, like, they're just scoring goals on everybody. But some of those goals last night, dude, like, it's tough out there in Pittsburgh from the goaltending standpoint right now. And Sidney Crosby is looking at his contract, and it's like, oh, my gosh, this says 3 years? 3 years? What am I supposed to do here for 3 years? It's brutal. Now, on the other hand, correct me if I'm wrong, I should have had this in front of me, but not only is Ovi chasing the Gretzky record, which we're all very well aware of, he's right now on pace to break this record as of March the 7th. but I believe Sidney Crosby is 2 goals away from 600. No, I think he has 598 right now.
He came into the year 13 away. I'm bad at math.
Oh, so
he's at 598. No, he's at 598.
He is. Okay.
He was 8 away. I'm bad at math.
513. Oh, it's close.
We're close enough.
Yeah, 813. It's all there. Dude. So he's 2 away from 600. So the one positive that I can take away from this game, at least if you're a Pittsburgh fan or whatever, and I know Andre, you hate this, but Ovi and Sid, man, like this is a rivalry that we've watched for the last 20 years, and both of these players are still playing at a super high level. So really cool to see them both 20 years later chasing down records. It's a really cool moment. And if the Leaf game wasn't on, I'd be glued to this game. But the Leaf game starts 20 minutes earlier, so maybe I'll catch the third period or something. And with that, you got to give Sidney Crosby plus 165. Alex Ovechkin, look at this guy, plus 115. Scoring every night, man. I believe he scored in 4 straight, if memory serves correctly. I say that phrase a lot, by the way. I think that just shows how lazy I am. I'm just going off memory all the time. But Alex Ovechkin plus 115 to score tonight, and Sidney Crosby plus 165. So for novelty's sake, those are my props, and I'm taking Washington minus 1.5 as well.
Yeah. I don't think we stressed enough that Pittsburgh played in Carolina last night. We're talking about this game. That actually completely slipped my mind until you said something. I was like, oh, yeah, they were down 5-0 yesterday. Granted, they outshot Carolina 36-18. On the other hand, Carolina stopped caring at some point. They realized they had it in the bag. That 13 number, I remember where it came from. I thought Crosby was going to get 600 in his 13th game against the Montreal Canadiens. He did not. And that's why I was like, oh, he was 13. He scored 2 goals in that game. So I was on to something.
You were.
But before the season started, I had penciled that one as 600, and that was wrong. So
I would love to see him score 2 tonight. I would love to. I don't know if it will happen just based on Washington's defense to start the year. And Charlie Lindgren is one of my favorite goalies in the league for some weird reason. Like, I don't even really know why. I just never heard of the guy, and all of a sudden he's awesome. And it's like, oh, yeah, Charlie Lindgren. Everyone thought this guy was going to be great. But it would be, I don't know, it'd be something poetic, man, if he scored his 600th goal against Ovi, who's chasing down Gretzky's record. I don't know. I like that kind of stuff. I think it would be pretty cool. All right, moving on. Minnesota in Anaheim. Minnesota on a back-to-back, and they are still minus 196 favorites in Anaheim. Anaheim plus 162 at home. Minus 1.5 is plus 132. Plus 1.5 is minus 162 for the Ducks. The over is 5.5 at minus 124. And the under is plus 102. Andre, what do you got? Minnesota, Anaheim.
Yeah, we gassed up the Ducks, and then they proceeded to lose 3 in a row. It really hurts because they were 4-4-1. We were like, maybe we're too harsh on this team. And then they lose that OT game to Pittsburgh. Granted, that was a phenomenal game. They very easily could have won that one. Then they lose to Chicago and Vancouver when they come back home. They got 4 more games on this home stand. And they're not looking too hot. And then you got the Wild, who they keep chugging along. They keep winning the games they're supposed to. They keep scoring like 4 or 5 goals every single night. In Anaheim, they've scored 4 goals during this 3-game losing streak. So based on offense alone, I really just can't see this one being close. I would love it if Anaheim, kept this one within a goal. I don't think they will, though. I think once the Wild hit that 3 or 4 mark, probably once they hit that 3 mark, the pressure is going to be too much. Once they hit that 4 mark, it's a wrap. I'm going to take Minnesota minus 1.5 here. I'm going to take the under as well. I just don't see the Ducks scoring enough to keep this a game. That's kind of been the story of the season so far for them. And
I will say, sneaky goaltender battle here. Lucas Dostal, excellent year. I got this guy in my fantasy league who wants to trade Lucas Dostal for Zach Hyman, and I'm like, I want him on my team so bad, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but that doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And Philip Gustafson, man. We've said this a million times. This guy single-handedly got his coach fired last year, and he has started phenomenal to start the season. Dostal, 2.5 goals against, 930 save percentage, 4-4-2. The record doesn't tell the story. He's on Anaheim. And then you have Gustafson, 6-2-1, getting the bulk of the starts over there in Minnesota, 2.33 goals against, and a 917 save percentage. So pretty good goaltending battle. For that reason, I'm right there with you. I'm taking the under as well. And you're getting pretty good odds on the under as well. Plus 102 for under 5.5, which is pretty good considering the short number. And yeah, man, Minnesota minus 1.5, plus 132. Like I think that's the right thing. And I mean, they're scoring a bunch of goals too. Right? They scored another 5 goals last night. One prop that I absolutely love, and I'm going to keep pumping this guy's tires every single night if I have to. Kirill Kaprizov, the most underrated superstar in the NHL, and I will keep saying that until more people talk about this guy. Do you want to know how underrated this guy is? I know that I keep saying Kyle Connor is underrated, but he's the most underrated goal scorer. He's not a superstar. He's a really good player. Kirill Kaprizov, he is plus 118 to get 2+ points tonight. Plus 118, that's it. That's pretty short odds for 2+ points. And I'm here for it. I absolutely love it.
I mean, we know how much of a star he is. I think the kids up in Minnesota love him. He's got moves. He's like I'm not going to – Datsuk's on my mind right now because we talked about him earlier. I might have watched the highlight reel earlier, but Kaprizov's he's got it. He's got it. He's just creative. I think it's the best word to put it.
100%. 100%. And the way that he, like, I was talking to a guy yesterday who is from Minnesota, and he's just talking about, like, the way that he shoots the puck. Like, we hear a lot about Austin Matthews' release and all these guys, and rightfully so, of course. But just the way that Kaprizov shoots the puck, man, it's unbelievable. And, I mean, put it to you this way. For him to score tonight is plus 105. So, like, Vegas thinks it's almost as likely for him to score as it is for him to get 2 points. And I love it, man. I am here for it. And I'll take all of that, and I'll take Minnesota at minus 1.5. All right, moving on to the last game of the night, with which full disclosure, I don't have to call myself out here, but I will. I completely forgot about this game because I don't know, man. Seattle's bored me. I'm bored of Seattle. I don't know what it is. I know that you loved them before the year started. I'm bored of it. Even if they do well, I'm just bored of it. Like, I don't find any, I don't know. I'm just bored of it. But either way, Vegas is in Seattle tonight. Vegas is minus 137 on the road, while Seattle, ooh, that was a weird one. Seattle is plus 114 at home. Minus 1.5 for Vegas is a plus 176. Plus 1.5 is minus 220. I gotta think the only reason that's plus 176 is because Decord's in the net, and he's had a great start to this season. Because I feel like those odds would have been a little bit shorter. The over is 5.5 at minus 128, and the under is plus 104. What do you got, Vegas, Seattle?
Yeah, in hindsight, when Seattle took a 2-0 lead in their first game of the season, and then they ended that same period trailing 3-2, probably was a sign that this wasn't going to be a fun year for them. We got blinded by the 4-2 record after 6 games. But I'm here to tell everyone in Seattle, relax. The Kraken are going to win tonight. Plus 120. I am locking it in.
Wow.
I'm not scared. Vegas on the road. I'm not buying it just because they won one game. I need to see it happen again. And Seattle, Yeah, they've lost 7 to 8. Yeah, they lost to Colorado twice. Yeah, they lost to Boston. Yeah, they lost to Winnipeg, Carolina, Toronto. They're back home now. They had a 5-game road trip. They had nothing in the tank by the end of it. They got some days off. They're back in Climate Pledge Arena. They're tossing fish. It's all good. Life is back to normal. They're going to win tonight. They're going to get back on track. They're going to start this homestand the right way. And that's with a 3-game winning streak. They're going to beat Vegas tonight. They're going to beat Columbus Tuesday. They're going to beat Chicago Thursday. They're going to beat the Islanders next Saturday. Let's make it 4.
Wow.
Well, Kraken
back.
plus 120. They are going to be back.
I absolutely love it, dude. I disagree so hard. I can't even explain to you how much I disagree. Vegas, they're a train right now, bro. I know they just won their first game on the road. I'll give you that. But Vegas, like this team, they're scoring a bunch of goals. Their goaltending has been phenomenal. I'm right there, dude. I think that Vegas. So I'm not right there with you. I'm right there with myself. I am right there with Vegas. I think that Vegas is going to just dismantle them tonight. Give me that -1.5, plus 176, especially at plus 176. I think Vegas kind of leans to what you're saying with those puck line odds. That game against the Oilers the other night, I don't think that Edmonton was necessarily the better team, but they were winning 2-1 pretty deep into that hockey game. And all of a sudden, Vegas flipped the switch. Not only do they win, but they cover the puck line. Vegas is a juggernaut this year. I think they continue to be. The more I watch them, the more I think this is a legitimate team that's has a good chance at winning the cup. And I'll be honest, I hope that they don't make it to the cup finals again. Not for any other reason. I'm just so tired of seeing like Vegas and Tampa and Florida. Like, it's not anything to do with those teams, but can we get some winter cities in the Stanley Cup Finals for the love of God? Like Las Vegas, like, you know what I'm saying?
Colorado won it 2 years ago.
That's why I didn't mention them. Colorado, they got a lot of snow up there. I'm all about it. I'm just saying, like, all of these teams that A, don't pay taxes and B, don't wear pants. Like, just I want, you know? I mean, they wear shorts. They wear some sort of pants, just not full pants. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, I think I know what you mean. You kind of muddled it up there at the end, but yeah, I'm also tired of these not cold weather. I think it's more because, you know, our cities, you know, we get snow. It snows where we support our teams. You know, it gets below freezing, so to speak. I was about to say 32. I realize you're Celsius, and you're gonna be like, I don't know what that means. It means 0. So, yeah, let's get some love back in there. I'm tired of these Florida, Vegas, Tampa, St. Louis. I don't think it cuts it. I don't think DC cuts it. Honestly, I'm talking Colorados of the world, the Chicagos, the Pittsburghs. We're the ones that need cups more. So,
I agree. You know, bring it back east. And Florida and Tampa Bay doesn't count as east. That's like, it's east, but it's not like east. All right, let's move on. I am taking Vegas. That's the bottom line. And also underrated so far this year. Oh man, of course I picked this guy. I'm gonna butcher his name, like Dorofiev. Dorofiev, is that how you pronounce his name?
Oh,
Pavel Dorofiev.
you're gonna have to give me a sec.
Something's happened to me this year, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly not sure if I'm well versed enough in Eastern European to correct you. I would think it's Dorofiev. No, like extra
Dorofiev. yeah. Dorofiev. Oh, here we go. Total Apex Sports Vegas writer, Chance Holiday, coming in the chat, Dorfiev. So what you just said. Thank you, Chance. I appreciate you. I don't know what. Oh, she messaged me on our company communication ad in case I didn't see in the chat.
Wow, MVP.
Yeah, dude, absolute legend. I appreciate it. This guy, my point is, number one, I don't know what's happened to me this year. These complicated names, my brain is falling out of my head. I don't know what happened to me over the summer, what I got up to, but my ability to pronounce names has just fallen off a table. Number two, this guy is playing very, 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 very well right now. Underdog, absolutely to score. He is plus 260, and I'm all about it for him to score tonight. Mark Stone, great start for him. He's plus 200. On the Seattle side, Jared McCann, plus 250. All the favorites as in order, like Jared McCann plus 250. He's the third shortest odds to score tonight. Like, it's not like he's that much of a favorite, but I really like that one. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Wrap up the night. Puck drop for the first game is in an hour from now, so let's get to it. Our best bets brought to you by the one, the only First Round Collectibles. Right now with our promo code SportsAddict, get 10% off whatever card you want in the entire First Round Collectibles store. Regular priced and sales price items. That's right, they have a sale, ongoing sale, up to 50% off tons and tons of cards with our promo code SportsAddict. Not only do you get 10% off of regular price items, but sales items as well. Go to FirstRoundCollectibles.com today. Promo code SportsAddict for 10% off. Can I help you? What are you laughing at right now?
Nothing. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh. First Round Collectibles, sports cards for sports fans. Andre, what do you got as your best bet on a Friday night?
Yeah, so I'm exercising self-control here. Don't you even worry. Part of me wants to go Seattle versus the world, but that's not happening. Easy mode, obviously the over in Penguins games this year has been money. So that would be just the cop-out. But I like to make things a little difficult. And I'm disgusted by this team, and I'm tired of talking about them, and they're playing for a second straight night, and they just keep losing, and they just keep allowing a ton of goals, and blah, 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 blah. The Pittsburgh Penguins get it together. I don't care that it's the Capitals. I don't care it's a so-called rivalry. You're going to get beat up again tonight. Minus 1.5 for Washington, plus 130. I'm locking it in.
The way you said get it together, I thought you were just switching it up and throwing a money line at me. I was like, oh my goodness.
Never.
Yeah, dude. And don't act like you're having self-control. You love picking against Pittsburgh.
Oh, no. You don't know what I was going to say after I said I like to make life easy.
Gotcha.
I rode myself in, you know?
I'm proud of you, man. That's growth every day. Yeah. 1% better every day. You know what I mean? That's what we read in these books. 1% every better. Exactly. It's all you need to do. For me, I am taking the do I dare? No, I don't dare. Do I? No. I don't think I do. Do I?
Do it.
I don't know, man. No, you know what, bro? No, I can't. No, Cam Talbot's been too good this year. I do think the Leafs will win by 1.5, but as a best bet, I'm not touching it. I am going to go to Anaheim, where I really do believe that the Minnesota Wild are going to win again by minus 1.5. This team, I know that Dostal has played really, really well. Even if they only score 3 goals, I still think that Anaheim's not going to be able to score more than 1. I am taking Minnesota minus 1.5 at plus 132. Now, as an honorary best bet, I don't think we need to put this in our family play, but I'm just going to throw it out while I'm still talking. The Detroit Red Wings, they're averaging 24 shots per game. In their last 5, they have shot 25, 23, 21, 26, and 25. Before that, even, there were games where they were getting 18 shots on net. Remember they won that one game? They beat, who was it? Was it Nashville?
No.
Was it not?
No.
Who was it?
Name another punching bag.
What, Pittsburgh?
No. You got one more guess.
Nashville, Pittsburgh. I don't remember. Who was it? Just tell me.
They
got 11 shots on net. Who was it?
Yeah. The Islanders.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah, they beat the. Oh, I'm sorry. I let you down hard there. They beat the Islanders while shooting only 11 shots on net. This team has just not been producing the way that they have. So where I have been taking the Anthony Stolars over, I gotta find this here. I've been taking Anthony Stolars over 24 plus shots when he's in net, and that's been doing lots of wonders for me. Where is the over-under? Do you have an over-under for Stolars on there? I can't find it on here.
For his saves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 23.5.
Oh, here we go. 23.5. Yeah, I'm taking the under, -110. I think that's a really good bet. We both talked about how the Leafs defense has been way, way better. This team is just not generating a lot of shots. I know 25, 23, 21, 26, 25. I get it, but over the course of the whole season, they have not been getting a lot of traffic to the net. So I'm going to take Anthony Stolars under 23.5 saves at -110. And that's not anything against him. That's a total fade on the Red Wings. And let's say that Detroit scores, 2 goals and they get 24, 25 shots on net. That's still under the numbers. So that's a number that I forgot to throw out earlier in the night. I love Anthony Stolars under 23.5 stops at -110.
I like it too. DK has it -105, so beat by just a little bit, but
there you go.
I'm down. I'm down with it. I'm here for it.
I love it. All right, family play. What do we got?
Yes, I was thinking, right? You're huge. Sid, he's 2 goals away from 600. You want to roll with that. Obviously, I want nothing to do. Granted, I don't like the Capitals either, but I want nothing to do with that guy or that team right now. They disgust me.
Yeah.
So, Ovi, he's chasing a goal record of his own. He's a little bit more palatable. We could have 2 parlays of the day. We could have yours with the Crosby goal as the last option. Mine is the Ovi goal as the last option. You get to pick your poison.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what, man? You know what? No, we're a team. We win together.
Look at you.
We lose together. Let's pick an OV goal, bro. It's not even that bad. He's been scoring like
5 straight.
He's got 5 straight with a goal. I'm here for it, bro. No, not me. Give us OV. I think it was +115 last I checked. What do you have it there at?
I have +110.
Okay.
Look at us. We've upgraded to us. That just means so much to me.
It's very cute. Yeah, it's really adorable. I like it as well.
I was also going to toss Kaprizov out there because budding star,
I'm telling you, man, that +2 points, +2 points at +118, like that's really short odds for 2+ points, man. I absolutely love it. All right, man. Well, on DraftKings, what does this parlay come in at?
DK has +728 odds for Minnesota Wild -1.5, Washington Capitals -1.5, and Alex Ovechkin anytime goal scorer.
I love it. Alex Ovechkin anytime goal scorer, Washington Capitals -1.5, Minnesota Wild -1.5. FanDuel has it at +738. FanDuel, pay attention. I'm pumping your tires every single night. You have better odds than DK. Just every single day. Let's get pucks across borders. Cash. Not just cash because we win, but cash because I'm pumping your tires so hard over here.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Great stuff, man. Thank you, as always, to everybody who is watching. We appreciate you guys very, very much. We'll be back Monday. Good luck on your bets. Shout out to Total Apex Sports. As always, check out TotalApexSports.com for excellent coverage on every sport known to man, as well as first-round collectibles. Whatever card you want, sale or otherwise, in the First Round Collectibles store, FirstRoundCollectibles.com. Andre, great to see you, man. Have a great weekend. To everybody else, we will see you on Monday.
Watch some Datsyuk highlights.
What?